Good day, viewers. My name is Remain Abiodun Oladimiji. Welcome to the YouTube on Kappa TV. You know, I'm not here alone. I'm here with my colleague here.
Good day, viewers. My name is Adewara Faith Oyin-Kosola.
Yes, viewers, we have a fantastic topic we want to talk about today, which is drug abuse. But before we proceed, I have a special guest of honor in our midst here. Daddy, please introduce yourself to the viewers.
My name is Emmanuel Olamilekon by name.
Emmanuel Olamilekon. But don't forget, guess what? He is a doctor. Yes, if you want to call him, you call him Dr. Emmanuel. Thank you. Sir, I have a first question for you this moment, sir. The first question says, can you just shed more light to what drugs means?
Drugs simply means the use of certain chemicals for the treatment of illnesses, diseases in the body, either transmissible or that are contracted by one way or the other, so that you can get better and be ill and healthy.
Well, sir, I have one question with me. Please, sir, can you shed more light to the word drug abuse?
Drug abuse simply means the use of drugs or certain chemicals to meet or to create or for the purpose of creating certain pleasurable effects in the brain. And the reason why I made mention of the brain is because in the brain we have a particular organ called nucleus accumbens. It has about 7 functions, and then is the one that stimulates this pleasure and then addiction. So in order to go overdose and to meet up with your own pleasurable effects, you will want to abuse beyond the dosage that was prescribed by a clinician.
Thank you very much, sir. So I have my second question here says, can you please shed more light to what we call drug trafficking?
Drug trafficking means the illegal sales of drugs by a non-medical practitioners. The only person that is allowed by law to sell drugs is only a pharmacist, and then administered or prescribed by a medical doctor. But when a non-medical practitioner is selling the drugs or prescribing the drugs, that is quackery and that is illegal. According to the code of conduct and medical ethics, you must be a medical practitioner, and then it's something that can be bought from any place, but it's not going to be an open place. The only place that is recommended by the medical practitioners by the medical council is a pharmacy store. Any other place that a drug is being sold, I can tag that as drug trafficking or drug abuse or illegal.
Okay, sir. So you made mention of pharmacists earlier. Yeah. Sir, as a novice, what can someone do to become a pharmacist?
To become a pharmacist, you must have a formal education by going to a secondary school and studying majorly going for a science department for 3 years, that is senior secondary school. After that, you write JAM and YEC, having the 5 major courses: English, mathematics, biology, physics, and chemistry. Then for your JAM, you indicate that you want to study pharmacy. And then a pharmacy course takes 5 years in the Nigerian university, where you will be put through pharmacology, pharmacokinetics, and then all the biochemical pathways through which drugs have effects in the body of a sick person or in the body of an ordinary person, where you'll be trained and you will have a standard training about the use of drugs, about interpretation of clinicians dosage and things like that. So it's to become a pharmacist, you must have a formal education, and where you will be guided, and then you will have this understanding and the knowledge on how to prescribe drugs to a patient.
Okay, sir. At what stage should drugs be administered?
The only stage at which drugs should be administered is only when it is needed. Now, may I shed more light on this? Paracetamol, as we all have it in our home, should not be used anyhow, even when you have a headache. I will tell you that it's much more honored and acceptable to go for a test and know the cause of your problem before taking paracetamol. Because one thing you have to understand is that paracetamol can take more than 3 years still viable in the liver, can lead to liver cirrhosis, that is damaging the liver. And we find that people are abusing that as small as paracetamol can be. You know, it contains a lot of cocaine too, and caffeine too, all these painkillers and pain reliever. You understand? So at no stage should anybody use drugs when it is not needed. The only time you need drugs, it's only when you need it. Okay, imagine all this antacid, all these danacid that people use anyhow. When you don't have the symptoms, why should you go ahead and just drugs is not for fantasy, it's not for fun, it's not for entertainment, it's not like soft drinks or wine. You understand? We've had people, thank God we're talking about drug abuse. We have people that are adding vitamin C or paracetamol into Fanta, and then they don't know their chemical pathways, the components of all these drugs. If you look at the components of paracetamol, you know that paracetamol, as little as it is, is dangerous for the health of human.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, you made mention of cocaine the other time. The paracetamol is also made from cocaine. Yes, and that means cocaine is an art drug. Now we have some people that are addicted to this what we call art drugs. Now, what are the way out for them?
Ideally, I will first of all advise those that are not yet addicted. Addiction is a normal thing, according to what I said earlier, that there is an organ in the brain that is called nucleus accumbens. It has about 7 functions. It's into addictions, it's into laughter, it's into love, it's into mood, you understand. And as it's very tiny and it's very small, you understand. So, but before you instigate that organs, it's better you manage and you should be able to control yourself. You understand? So it's better not to get addicted to any drugs, or it's better not to abuse than abusing and you want to pull yourself out. Now, how can you pull yourself out if by adventure you've been addicted to one drug or the other? Just like what I was talking about, paracetamol. Not everybody is using paracetamol, but people now go as far as using codeine, because tramadol, because maybe they have severe pains, all this pain relief, that they got addicted to it, that if they don't use it in a day, they cannot sleep. As far as Lexotan, have you heard about Lexotan before? That is a sleeping tablet, all these sleeping tablets. Darling, you understand that as much they cannot take it in the night, they won't be able to sleep. But the advice I'm going to give everybody is that you can control yourself through your diet, through exercise. That is why I love the previous question before this last one, that at what stage? To be honest, if it is something that you can control by your own self, because there is a way the body releases antioxidants and then antibodies, and also our immune system are actively working to defend us. And may I say this to you, that it is not drugs that is healing us. Get this right? You are not being healed, or you are not being cured by drugs. What drugs does is that it strengthens your immune system to fight those illnesses. The only method or means through someone addicted to cocaine or any chemicals or drugs, or in marijuana or whatsoever they've been using to stimulate their nuclear accumbens, is only discipline. By being disciplined, making up your mind that you won't take it again, because all these things has an adverse effect. The adverse effect of cancer, the adverse effect of dying early and before your time, the adverse effect of doing things wrongly. All this killing around, you see people that are into murdering or committing suicide, is all the effects of drug abuse. So, and then I will advise the youth, drug abuse is common among young ones within the age of 15 and then 40. And according to the statistics of the world, over 190 million people in the world are abusing drugs, are taking one chemicals or the other. The truth of the matter is that I would advise everybody to stop and to be determined that they won't do that again, because you don't want to be a cancer patient or kill vital organs in the body.
Okay, sir, you made mention of effects of drug abuse earlier. How can drug abuse affect one's psychologically, sir?
It affects you in the way that you start acting abnormally. There are ways a normal person should act, and then you know that this person is sane, but the chemicals or the components of those drugs affect vital organ in the body, most especially the brain. You understand? Because let me say this to you. Whenever things go wrong in the body, there is a message that is going to be passed to the hypothalamus, the brain. A negative feedback will be passed to the hypothalamus, so that hormones can be released. Then that is a positive feedback. So, but when you take much of it, that is overdose. The system is not getting itself again. You've scattered the whole things, and then it's as if you are destroying, and the brain will not be able to work with the load or the dose of chemicals that you've consumed. And then whatsoever you put into the mouth affects the liver. The liver is the first point at which whatsoever touches your tongue is being administered.
We already talked about drugs. So what can someone do to improve health status?
Ideally, improve. Now, the mistake everybody made is that they thought or they suppose that taking drugs can improve your health. That is a big lie. The only thing that can improve your health or how you can have a good health is that always do a medical checkup. Go to a laboratory, check yourself, do a normal routine checkup, check your blood sugar, check your BP, your blood pressure, check your pulse, your heartbeats, check yourself and make sure you are taking enough water. It's not all about drugs. Some people, what they need is just rest. It's just for them to have a little time to rest their brain from a lot of stress they've engaged themselves into over a couple of weeks or months or year. They just to have some days of rest. That is the purpose of leave. When you work for a year, you get 28 days leave so that you can rest from the stress that you've been through all through the year. But it's a pity that the people don't seize that opportunity of rest. They see it as a medium of still acquiring more money. You understand? So the only means and the only ways through which you can improve your health is to go to the laboratory, check yourself. You understand? And the only way you can improve your health is about checking yourself. Medical checkup. Comprehensive medical checkup. It might not be comprehensive, just a minor one. And you know the reason for checking up yourself is so that you can know the right drugs to take.
The right drugs to take.
There are some certain drugs that an hypertensive patient must take. There are certain drugs that a diabetic patient must not take. Those are the things that you have to take. There are some certain drugs that someone that is suffering from liver problem, kidney problem, bladder problem, prostate problem shouldn't take. You understand? Let me set an example. Someone that is suffering from gastritis, that is gastric ulcer, duodenal ulcer, or peptic ulcer. There are some drugs you mustn't take. Now, if you take such drugs, you can kill yourself. It can lead to death, or can lead to severe damage of all the digestive systems. Now, I'll give you an example. Someone that has ulcer mustn't take diclofenac. They should be careful of pain relief. You can take diclofenac potassium, but diclofenac sodium, you shouldn't take it. And once you go to a pharmacy or you go to a pharmacy store or drug store, always indicate that certain drugs, I mustn't take it. There are some people that they react to chloroquine. There are some people that they react to some antibiotics. And ulcer patients must not take certain antibiotics. I will also tell you about some antacid. If you are having pains
in any part of the body, don't sit at home taking some herbs, taking some pain relief. It might be or major some certain part of the body. There are some places that you must not stay back when you have pain. Let's say the right lower part of your abdomen. When you have pain in the right lower part of go for checkup, consult your hospital or a diagnosis center for a scan. It's possible it's appendicitis. And then if you take antacid inflame the appendix and can.
Another ways through which you can improve your health is through diet. Yes, what you eat is who you are. Let's be careful of junks intake, all these soft drinks. They contains many chemicals that are not helpful to our health. There are some of all these drinks that they put natural. This is all big lie. So if you need to take anything natural, get fruits, blend it yourself, and make a smoothie for yourself. Buy vegetables, always eat vegetables. And then what you eat is very, very important. And take much of water. You need water so that you won't go dehydrated. Always hydrate yourself. Although we're in a very good season at the moment, but always hydrate yourself. And during this moment of coronavirus, it's essential that you look for every possible means to boost your immune system. It's not about taking drugs. Many people have taken chloroquine tablet or injection and they had an adverse effect. It's not about taking any tablet. It's about the food you are eating. At least if you are going to take any tablet, let it be vitamin C, which helps your immune system, and take much of diet and much of fruits, apple, all these things, and much more importantly, checking your health status. Go to a laboratory, check yourself, check your BP, check your blood sugar, check your PCV, that is your blood level. Know the level of, and then check if you have any infection, and always wash your hands. And then may I say this, that drug abuse add no values to life. It's just about wasting yourself or wasting some of the vitals, organs in yourself. It's a suicide. The way I see it, because when you are addicted to it, most of the lungs, or the digestive system, the liver, the kidney, the spleen, the pancreas, these are how the stomach. These are how cancer start from. So I will advise people and our young ones that for no reason should you get addicted to any drugs. Some people get addicted to some drugs, or they abuse drugs maybe because of incision or rituals, maybe or by peer pressure, peer groups. So know the type of friends you are going along with, and then please you have a lot of things to fulfill in life for the coming generation. So drug abuse is bad. It makes you to fulfill your destiny, and then it will kill you at the prime age when you least expect that. So, and no one is praying for that. We always want to fulfill our days on earth. And then, so all these our young ones abusing drugs, they can also go ahead and study medicine or study pharmacy. And as you do so, I know that God will grant us knowledge and understanding to excel.
Amen.
Thank you very much,
so much, sir.
I really appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, viewers, I hope you've learned one or two things today. See you next Friday, the same time, the same moment. Bye.
Thank you.